I'm Josie and I'd like to give my speech on why PE should not count towards your GPA in high school. I don't care for physical activity. I'm not sporty. I'm not very coordinated. That is a quote from Anna Kendrick, the very popular actress. She, along with many other people, don't do well physically, making it hard for when they have to take classes like PE. PE is required, and if it counts towards your GPA, it can very much hurt your GPA. I think that when administrators think about whether to count it towards your GPA, they should consider the negative impacts that it can have on students. There are three main reasons why I would not want it to be part of the GPA. The first reason would be that it's a very qualitative class. It can't be, on this quiz they missed 3 points out of 12. It's completely up to the teacher's discretion. It also can be just something that a student can't do. They may be unable to do the physical activity that the teacher thinks is required. And also, it can negatively affect their future by giving them bad grades on an otherwise pristine report card. When it comes to PE, it's really very difficult for them to grade. Like I said, there's no quiz that they miss 3 points out of 12. It really comes down to whether the teacher thinks they did good enough. Rowan University says that many grades that teachers give in PE are based on their opinion, which, if you have a bad relationship with your PE teacher, can result in a bad grade. Chicago Tribune says that many PE teachers also grade based on skill level, and some students don't have the hand-eye coordination to be good at tennis or pickleball, or can't catch a football, therefore making them get bad grades in those sports. On the other hand, though, the Chicago Tribune does say that if you don't give PE a grade, then it doesn't matter, which is what students will think. But I think that they just need to use more of a pass-fail system instead of a A, B, C, D, E, there's no E, A, B, C, D, F situation. Guidepost Online says that a lot of students stress a lot about whether they think their teacher thinks that they're trying hard enough to get an A in the class. It's really easy to score badly in PE, and it can really negatively affect some students' futures. There are kids that have straight A's that could get a C or a D in PE, and their GPA drops down to a 3 or a 2. Guidepost Online says that universities think that students did badly when they see these 3s and 2s instead of the 4s that the student would actually have without the PE. The Chicago Tribune points out that actually sometimes art classes aren't counted towards GPA, but PE is. The Chicago Tribune also points out that students very easily can achieve a C or a D, since a C is average, and if the PE teacher thinks they didn't do above and beyond, they could get a C in the class. On the other hand, though, there are kids that are bad at math and reading, which makes sense that in PE you would get a bad grade for being bad at something, while in in math or English that someone would get a bad grade for being bad at math or English. I think that the main difference there, though, is the fact that PE is such a qualitative class. It's really not as quantitative as math or English. Rowan University also says that a lot of kids, when they get bad grades in PE, end up having lower self-esteem and don't pursue physical activity later in life, such as in college. And it's also that kids might not be able to do what's right to get an A. Some kids don't have the ability, like Rowan University says. Some kids don't have the hand-eye coordination that makes them so they can't play tennis to an acceptable level. The Chicago Tribune points out that everyone is different. There's no way to successfully say, this is the box that you need to fit in to get an A in this class. I actually, in my PE class, had a girl who couldn't get her heart rate above about 115, and the teacher said that to be considered right in the class, you had to get it between 141 and 151. So I think that she ended up with a bad grade because she didn't get her heart rate high enough. On the other hand, there really is kids that aren't good at math or English. But I think since it's the qualitative versus quantitative, that it doesn't work quite the same. And really, Guideposts Online says that some goals are just unreasonable for some students. When there are kids with heavy handicaps that they can't run, we don't punish them for not running. In conclusion, I think PE has such a big negative effect towards students when it's considered for their GPA that I don't think it should count. But if it does, it should count as a pass-fail class, where you either get 4 points for a pass or 0 points for a fail, giving it some weight, but not enough to ruin your grade that you can't fix it. And really, if kids get bad grades in classes like PE that is so qualitative, it can ruin their future. Thank you.